So sorry for being late, and we're doing a lot of juggling here, so I might be moving to the other room shortly, because this is as you remember, this is the guest breakfast room. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight was, I was just looking at the story on Facebook when you post something and it comes up the story, add to story.
Yeah.
That's something I know Cassie uses. It's very underutilized.
Yeah, this is very good.
Yeah, it's really underutilized, and it's a really handy thing just to post up there.
This is just for 24 hours, I think.
Yeah. And I think it's a good habit to get into posting something, because people do look, and the people that are active, obviously, in your...
because this is connected to Messenger, and we are mostly on a Messenger than on a Facebook.
Yeah.
What's the difference between posting a story and just doing an ordinary post?
Because when you're posting something, you have the option to press on a news or on a story. You can do both, but the story is connected to the Messenger than if you have it just on a phone. And people are mostly on a phone. So you just go and check the Messenger, and then you will see, oh, my friends add something, so I will go to read.
Yeah.
Because I will just show you here. I don't know if you can see this actually here.
But don't you get that anyway if you're following a page and you've got notifications switched?
No, because nobody knew about the meeting tonight.
No, like for example, I don't know if you can
posted
see
on the...
this is like on the top here.
Yeah.
Like on the top here, if I see that's my friends, and then I can see something that they added on the top here. But if you go this way, that's normal. But this way, because they added story.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Horizontal, that means they added stories. So you're more, okay, maybe I can check what they added. And of course, you should have it in information that somebody adds something in a story. But again, this is a Facebook. You never have from everybody.
I think one of the things that I'm noticing, I'm just going to see if I can look. I posted up the poster 24 hours ago, and there's been 13 people that have looked at it and commented or ticked love or whatever. And some of those names are new people. They're not people that are, I say new people, there's distant people, but there's 13 people. So it's another, because when you're doing information, you have to post at least 7 times. People need to see it before it registers. So it's kind of like, if you're thinking every piece of information has to be seen 7 times, that's a lot of times. So the story is a really handy thing to just keep it, just drip feeding. You just drip, it's just like a tap dripping. You just dripping information. So it is worth putting. And even if you've not got, I don't know how it works. That if it's up on the main page, I don't know how that works for copying onto the story. Do you know, on Cassia? So I've put up there the retreat at the moment. How easy is that to copy, or is it not? I don't know actually.
No, what you need to do now. Okay, so we go on yours, so that will be easier quickly.
I can forward it actually.
Okay.
Have you put it up on Anthea Fenton? That
I'll put it up in leadership. That is on Anthea Fenton. Yeah, I've put it up in.
In Messenger or Facebook?
Messenger.
Right.
No, when I'm on a Messenger, there is nothing there.
So what is it then? That I've just sent it into the leadership group
on Messenger to us.
Yeah.
I've just got that.
Okay, now I can see. So when I press that, then I send some kisses, blah, blah, blah. And then I press.
Should I send it to somewhere else?
No, 1 second.
Okay, got that there.
I'm just trying to think, maybe we can actually save this picture. That's what I will be thinking. Not to
Say that again, sorry.
I just try to think if we can actually save it.
You can see it there. I can see there's an add to story, and I'm just looking.
Yeah, you can save the photo that's in Messenger now. Yeah.
I can't do it yet, but I'm still.
Maybe not.
If you tap, well, on my iPhone, if you touch the photo, then down here there's a more, and you click on that, and then you can save photo.
Yeah, I think on my phone I can't do it. That's why I'm trying, because I don't have iPhone. I have just
Android.
Android.
So you can share it on there, can you, Catherine?
Yeah, I've now saved that photo so I can share it anywhere I like.
So I'm wanting to see if you can add it to story, to the actual story.
All right. On
Yeah, but
Tell
if
Your
you-
Story, on Tell Your
Yeah.
Story Facebook, or on Anthea Fenton?
No, on your own. When you just put
online.
add to story.
On my Facebook page.
On your the intention is for you to have my story. So there's a story.
So you can add the same picture on your story.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go and find my.
Why I can't do it? This is quite strange. This
Can you do that? Do you know how to do that, Lena?
I know how to add it, but I can't do it from yours now.
I've never done it because I've been into these stories before, and I thought it was very irritating because
okay, I know now.
It goes to the next, and then it goes to the next, and
yeah, it does jump quickly. Does you have to go back?
You have to go back, and then you don't finish reading, and then it goes to the next. So I thought, no, I don't want to spend time on that.
You not click on it then to see it. I'm just trying to think if no, you're right. It is.
No, when I click on it, it goes to the next.
Right.
Okay. I have it as well because you actually posted on leadership, so I could save it and I have it. Yeah.
So you've done it.
Okay, so I can do it now on my page, and I have an option there to share it to my page's story and
That's right.
to my newsfeed.
There you go. That's the one. The intention.
So if I do it now it's coming up on. I just left it as my story.
Right, and you could. I mean, the thing is, it's to play around with.
Doesn't seem to have done anything though. But
right, it will have done. Have you done it to your news feed as well? Right.
No, I did it just as my story.
Right, because I don't know what news feed is. You see.
Oh,
news feed is like your wall and what comes up round there.
Yeah, on Facebook.
On Facebook.
You know, when you're posting on your profile anything on your Facebook, that's the news.
Of course, yeah. The thing is, it's just getting information out to as many. Like I said, there's a lot of people are bombarded with information, so they'll be attracted because they'll think, what's that? They think the majority of people are looking because it's the colour. It's kind of like, what is that? What's that green thing?
Yeah.
Curious, but it's like I said, it's really just about sharing information and just keeping it sharing, because then you start seeing that it's just nice when you think, gosh, there's 14, 15 people looked at my information, even if
but now what's interesting is that I'm now obviously in a share your story thing, and it's just going on a loop through everybody who's shared a story that's obviously in my list of contacts.
Well, I can't see that you've added it on there. I can see.
I add mine.
Yeah, I can
I've just seen it. It's popped up in that thing I was just looking at. It's popped up on Cashier's and popped up on yours, Anthea.
Right, I can't see yours, Catherine. Which is no, I can see your story, but no, I can't see.
But I don't understand how you can share this. I don't find anywhere.
Yes, it's there now on that page.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? On which page?
But I've posted that on my Tell Your Story page, not on my personal page.
I don't think it does. It matter? I wonder if it matters. Maybe it does. Maybe it does matter where it is. Well, it must do because I can't see it. So, but then I should be able to see it. I don't know. I don't understand how.
Okay, you see, I just show you something as well because I changed the setting. 1 second. So when we already add the picture on a story, I don't know about your phone, but I have this 3 dots here in a corner.
Yeah.
Just on the left. So probably you might have on the bottom if you're a different phone. And then there is the option story setting. Okay. If you go to the setting of the story, you have the option to show this story not just to your friends. You have option to press public.
Yeah.
And a public is more important than your friends because not always your friends are your target.
Yeah, so you've got friends and connections.
Public.
Yeah, public.
Well, I don't have any options of that kind.
Oh, you have.
No, because you haven't got it's on the actual picture, isn't it? So when you've got the actual picture,
it says turn off anti-offenting.
No, go to the leadership group and you will see the picture. You do the way that I did. It will be
not on the news, the story feed.
The leadership group in Messenger you're telling us to go to.
And you can save the picture and then you can add it to your story. So you have
forward.
Oh, I thought you could.
Yeah, maybe you have the option, but I have this China phone that is waterproof. But it's not
let's do a tutorial. Leni, have you got your phone?
Yeah, I have my phone.
Click on the picture in the leadership group.
In Messenger.
Yeah.
Messenger.
The leadership group. Have you got it in there?
Auntie added some picture in the chat.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the bottom, have you got more, reply and edit?
Down there. And then it should be forward.
Have you got more?
No, but I have something that says forward.
Okay, so press forward. And then if you scroll down, it says more ways to share and it says your story. Does it say that?
Yeah.
There you go. So I'm going to do it again on there and press add and see what it does. So it says visible on Facebook and Messenger. Did you get that as well, Catherine?
Well, I've just clicked on the forward thing and now it's come up with the option for me to write a message and just send it to people in
no. Go
Messenger.
Scroll down and it says your
story. And I've got your story.
That's all.
I can add it to my story. It's visible on Messenger and Facebook.
That's what we were just talking. Yeah. So that's the way to do it. So if everybody clicks on to the
and I've got a little cog next to that. It's got settings.
Hold on, click on to more. This is just
and there I can choose to make it public.
1 minute, Catherine, because I'm just doing this so that if anybody's watching the video, they can go through and actually do this. So literally click onto the leadership picture, click more, click forward, and then scroll down to your story and add. And there is a cog there that can say the public, which is what Cassia was talking about before. So click onto the cog, click public, go back, and then press add. So it's visible on your story for 24 hours or and on Messenger as well. That's handy to have, especially if I'm just about to go into Canva this weekend and do probably quite a few, probably at least 7 different quotes for the day, for the week.
Good.
To put up for the week, so that then we've got, because I've got quite a few things that are coming to me now around, I don't know if people heard of the event and reset. The event? No, nobody heard about that. The event.
What context?
It's just the event. A lot of people are talking about the event that's going to really switch our world into being a better place than what it is. So there's resetting the financial system, just resetting the way that we are and the way that we're working and everything else. So there's a big waking up of consciousness at this moment in time. It depends on what you listen to, really. So the intention is that a lot of people are, hold on, something just come through. Lena's added her first photograph. Oh, well done, Leni. We're determined to get all over this internet. So a lot of people are talking about reset in terms of raising consciousness and awareness, because the reality is our world is in massive need of change. As we know, our world is going through change because it needs to, in terms of resetting the foundations from our ancestors and our past. We don't want the same what we've had to lean into the future. So I don't know whether or not we've all had this conversation before, and I suppose I've probably made an assumption, but we're at the stage where we are the forerunners, as much as it's a lot of, maybe it sounds a lot of responsibility, but we are the forerunners in bringing about this change. And the reason why I say that is everybody needs to tell the story. Everybody needs to share what has life been like from being born to now. That's the main reset that people are talking about this event. The event is individual people waking up to the truth and doing something different from what they've been taught to do. But a lot of people, when they talk about your story, they're like, oh, I've got nothing to share. It's kind of like, look, get over it. Reality is whatever. Everybody's got a story to share, regardless of what it is. So this week, my intention is to be putting out, and whether or not this stuff makes sense, because I've been doing this work for a long time. And I've been waiting for a long time. So I don't know whether or not some of this stuff is over people's head. That's my problem, really. So I've not really been putting a lot of stuff out there. I've been waiting and listening and thinking, is the vibration right? Is this information right? And I think it is. I think now is the time. So, for instance, I've got things, I don't know. It's kind of like, if I had put the question to everybody today, do you feel as though life has stunted your growth? Do you feel like your own personal life journey has been stunted? In any way? Anybody? Any takers?
I'm just thinking it over. Stunted. Has my life, personal journey been stunted?
Do you feel like you've been stunted in any way? I mean, it's kind of quite light, really.
Not just I suppose so. I don't feel I've reached anything or achieved anything, or and I feel there are lots of ways in which I still need to learn and grow and develop, and life could be better. So in that sense, yeah.
What about yourself, Cassie and Leanie? Does that sentence make sense? I suppose, yeah. Because if you think about the tree blossoming, and you think about being stunted, it's like, sometimes you can be stunted. You just see a stump of a tree which has been stunted its growth. Do you feel like there's anything that stopped you from really just blossoming and flourishing?
No.
Ever?
No, now. My answer is for now. I'm not thinking what was yesterday.
No, I know.
What is now and what I did, let's say, even the last 2 years. I'm saying that nothing can stop me now. I'm not stoppable. Like, I can do everything.
Absolutely.
My favorite sentence that I heard, so I'm stealing this sentence, but it's not famous, I hope so, is that you can do everything, but you don't have to do anything. And this is the question, if you're ready to do everything, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true. I think, Cassie, the reason why I'm asking the question is because we are not trying. Like you said, you don't have to do anything. It's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. And there's also something about reaching people, letting other people know. So we have to this whole thing of marketing is being able to resonate with somebody. How do we resonate with people? Because if we're doing nothing, because in nothing there is everything. So if we're doing nothing and just being, then it's where do we just be? Because what we're doing is by being, we're showing people this is what it's all about.
Like in my case, it is actually more networking out of internet. I'm practicing this more than online. Yeah. Somehow, this is for me because I'm doing different projects. I know that building relationship face to face is giving better results. So in case of online, it has to be, as you said, lots of stuff so people can see. Yeah. At the same time, it's important to speak with people one-on-one. So if there is anybody interested, that I have lots of people who are ready. No, they are interested, but they are financially not even ready to even start this project.
Incredible.
And incredible. This is quite, I cannot I cannot do anything about that. I'm not going to buy everybody training because that's mean people won't be appreciating this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the reason why I say about stunting growth is because people want people that can relate to them. They want to see that, well, that's your story. That's your, because what's happening is a lot of people don't realise how important their story is. They think that the story is just like that. It's not a story.
But when I speak with people, like even today I spoke with my friend, she is a life coach, but for dating. And she said, because she haven't seen me for a few years, she said, you change. And I said, yes, I'm growing. I'm doing so many different things, and I was talking about this project, and I was talking about different project and what's happened recently. And she was saying there is so many changes in me that she couldn't actually put everything in all together. But she said that's good changes. So, you know, that at least that's good.
Change, absolutely. And I think that's where, Leonie, what was your thoughts?
Well, I just had to figure out first what it meant.
I know, I'm thinking that. I thought that when I said it, yeah.
So, but I think a lot of things have been like, have made it difficult to grow actually for a very long time, because there's so many things to you have to deal with so many issues about family and kids and jobs and all these things that you have to be in that box.
Yeah.
So and I think it's a lot easier now.
Exactly. It's interesting because I think, because when you think that people are experiencing life at this moment in time, a lot of people are really struggling, and the people are drowning, they're feeling like they're drowning, and they don't realise that the answer isn't outside. They're doing more and more and more, and it's not out there. What they're looking for is not out there. It's in. It's the job is in. The event is inside. It's getting to that space of, right, that is enough. That's enough. I don't need to do this anymore. And so it's, how do we help people to see that transition? How do we just gently plant the seed at a time when people are just busy, not seeing what's going past because it's too quick? Just put in just drop in a simple line, so that they get to see that storyline 7 times. And eventually there's, because what we're doing is we're tapping into a feeling. That's what we're doing. We're tapping into, stunted growth. It's like, gosh, stunted growth, what's that? Just planting a seed. That's all that it is for people to think. Stunted growth, I don't know what that means. And then things like misaligned. So just simple little words, but helping people to recognize that actually there's an imbalance. And there's something about discovering what is that? Knowing something isn't right, but not having a feeling, because it's difficult to talk about feelings when we've not been in a world where people have spoke about feelings. So it's, how can we say, are you feeling unhappy? People don't know what it feels like to feel happy. So it's impossible to be talking about happiness when it's kind of like, well, what does that feel like? So we have to, it's the psychology behind how are people thinking. So we have to step into their shoes a little bit, but we've been in their shoes, so we do know. It's just that we're just a little bit ahead of the game. So what we're doing is trying to open up the door to say to people, look, come and discover, because a lot of people are looking for shortcuts, but they're not realising that they're avoiding it. It's like they've got this spiritual bypass, I think is what they call it. It's where they're bypassing their emotions. Really, for me, spiritual is the spirit of a person. It's the essence of a person. It's not a religion. It's not something that's wacky. It's the essence of a person. But even the word spiritual, people are kind of like, oh, hold on, I'm not too sure about that. So we have to be really careful with how we're wording what we're wording, So one of the things that I want to do, and I haven't brought them over, but I want to start using it, and we may actually It might be an exercise, I'm not sure yet. I actually want to start using some of the symbols that are on the game, you know, the little stars and because they're real childlike, but we're trying to tap into the child within, because that's where we were stunted. We were stunted as children. It's just naturally part of being in this world. Many of us weren't given that freedom, because either it was in school that we got stunted, it was in religion, it was our parents, it was our brothers and sisters. So we had a few little people lined up to stunt us, to get us whichever way. So we were going to get it. So that's one thing that we've all got in common, is that all of us have had our free spirit stunted. So that's the basics that we're getting back to, in a way. When we look at being is a place of peace. You know, because at the moment, you're going to hear this a lot as well, because I'm hearing it. I've listened to a few audios this week, and I'm hearing people, you know, when we talk about in the meantime, do you remember that chapter? I'm sure you all do. Remember it really well, the second one, because remember it said, you know, can anybody remember what it said at the top? The second chapter, without looking.
You mean whilst you're busy being, whilst you're busy doing, how is your being?
That's the one. Whilst you're busy doing, how is your being? And I remember quite a few people struggled with that, because it was like, hey, what do you mean, how's your being? So when you look at it, hold on, let's see if you can do it. The main thing that a lot of people are starting to identify now is that the doing is what's stunted a lot of people. It's the being. Let's see if we can bring this up. That we're teaching people to do. We're teaching people, not teaching to be, because be is an inside job. But we all know we all know about doing, because that's all that we're doing. But when it comes to being, how can we be? Because being is just an inside job. That's what we're teaching people, is we're actually teaching people through holding a space, and in holding that space, it's a space for people to be. That's what it is. So when we're doing that holding, can you see that? You can see, does it come up? So when we're thinking about this slide in particular,
it's just your screen with a whole bunch of PDF files on it. What you're actually opening has not come up yet.
Cheers, I'll press stop.